have all the control in the world.
Oh no.
Hello. I know. Drives you nuts. All right. Welcome to the stream, everyone. Hi, Ian. Hi,
Happy
Arlemi.
Thursday.
How are you?
Hello.
Thursday? It is indeed Thursday.
Well, where I am, it's Thursday. So
yeah, might not
Yeah.
be Thursday for everyone.
so happy
Welcome,
time zone
Donnie.
wherever you are. Hello.
Donnie says good luck to all. There's only one of us that'll need luck today.
This guy.
So this stream is going to be a little bit of a hot mess. We won't go into it right away. We have some things.
Confidence. I love it.
Well, it's a little bit sloppy, but I love surprises, and what more than I love than surprises is surprising Arlemi and really trying to stump Arlemi. So, Ian, am I correct? This one, my part's a little bit of a hot mess. So we're going to be looking for some audience participation. Is that correct?
We are absolutely going to need some audience participation. Yep.
Okay, and for the folks, you don't know how to participate yet. Sorry, if you're already participating. For the folks that are participating at the end of the show, we're gonna put Arlemi on the double spot and try to select a random winner from the people that are participating through Twitter. Now, I haven't thought that through. If there's credentials that need to be had and like all that kind of stuff, then we don't need to do that part on camera. But I'm excited. Are you ready?
I guess I'm excited. I don't know yet. We'll see.
Let's jump straight into it. Just kidding. Just kidding. Let's start with one segment called... Actually, wait. We didn't even introduce ourselves. Arlemi, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah. I'm Arlemi. Hey, everyone. Everyone on the chat. What am I? I'm team lead developer advocacy at Postman, and I'm based in London. So for now, it's bright. And by the time we finish the stream, it's probably going to be night. So I'm going to disappear as we go.
And you're the guest.
It's going to gradually fade away.
Yeah.
Ian, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Ian. I'm a senior developer advocate here at Postman as well. And next time I'm on a live stream, my whole background's going to be different. I'm going to be moving this whole studio around over the weekend. So, yeah.
There's so many cute things to look at. I hope you still have interesting things to look at in the background.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there will be. Yeah.
And I'm Joyce. I'm the head of developer relations, and I'm based in San Francisco. I don't usually host these streams. Usually it's Ian or Arlemi, so I love turning the tables. And Ian has a really good surprise today as well. And then Arlemi, as always, I'm sure will just be flawless obstacle running through the challenge. I'm positive. I'm very
no
confident.
pressure.
As Arlemi does, yes.
Your performance evaluation is based on this.
It's been a long time since all three of us have been on a live stream. I think it was like last spring, and we were doing like IoT lights and stuff like that. I think that was the last time all three of us were on a stream together.
We'll do another one soon. I have a lot of fun with those. Okay, so let me share my screen, and I will be talking about a segment, and I'll leave the chat on there. We have folks calling in from... Oh, is that... Who is running Postman?
Yeah, I didn't realize you would go on the screen.
Like, who is that you, Arlemi?
Yes.
Okay. Let me bring my screen on, so hopefully you can see that. So I just have a couple new things that I want to talk about. In case you missed it, new releases from Postman. The first one is improved team profiles. So this is for people that are on Postman teams. If you're a lone developer, you actually have your own user profile. You might not know, but team profiles have some interesting, let's click through. Have some interesting new formatting. So if you want to spruce up your bio, you want to highlight your key contributions, you have a user profile, but the team profile is what's new. That's kind of neat. Have you seen people updating their profiles?
I haven't updated mine. That I know.
Mine looks good. Okay.
Show it.
Should we pull up Arlemi's just to demonstrate what profile?
I think so. I mean, he's hyping it up, so you know.
How do you get to it? I just go to Postman and then search.
Postman.com/Arlemi probably.
Can I do it like this? That redirect?
No, if you did the go.postman. No, just do postman.com.
Okay, let's zoom on this. Walking bug finder, beautiful headshot. You have some profile views, your socials. Arlemi, you belong to a lot of teams.
I mean, there's a limit of 5 teams, so
Oh.
maybe don't 5 teams.
And so I can see Arlemi's pinned, what are these, workspaces? Workspaces collection. And the last time you were in Postman was at 3:10 a.m. my time. So like, yeah, a lot of good information here. But the team profile has a little bit richer. There's like a little markdown area for you to put some information in. Okay, so that's one new release. What's the other one? Let's go back out. Most popular APIs in the public API network. This one was pretty big on social. So if you missed it, we have an API network. We play with them all the time on the stream. And this is the top 25. Top 25 by usage and quality standards. So kind of interesting. You can scroll down or click through and to see them all. There's 25 of them. Let's see, what else? There's two more I wanted to talk about. Support for templating in Postman mock servers. This one is, I think we don't even have, like, there's this blog post, but we don't even have videos out yet. The docs are probably updated, but this is a way to create templates for your mocks. Like, I'm confused. Like, so we have Echo. Why do we have templating for mocks?
So just in case anyone doesn't know, mock servers are kind of fake servers that you can use to emulate your backend service, and then you can send requests to it and build your other services based on that. So this, what it allows you to do, instead of sending fixed data or random data, you can return what is being sent in the request. So if your front end, for example, is building a user profile, they can send the user information, send it to that fake server and get it back. To your question, Joyce, the difference between Postman Eco and the mock servers on that part is that with the mock servers, you can create your own query parameters, you can create your own endpoints, and you can customize everything, whereas the Postman Eco just sends you back what you sent to it.
Yeah, so we have Echo and we have HTTP bin, and there's a lot of other services like this where the bottom, you'll see the data that you pass through, but maybe not configured. But now you can precisely configure. So if you're using a mock server to stub out an endpoint, or isolate your system, or just have a very reliable, reproducible answer, now you can customize it. That's really nice. Okay, there's one more. We're zoomed in very heavily. Let's see. Oh yeah, so this one is for API testing professionals, and this is a little bit of a sneak peek at next week's stream. That's going to be test engineer focused. So I got this from, I will give full props here to Gleb from the Cypress community, who has been on one of these streams before. But Gleb has done huge work in creating resources for front-end testing, and created, said, hey, you can get a 6-figure starting salary on my team, his team, by knowing these skills. You can start as a junior test engineer and make a 6-figure salary. And I thought that was incredibly transparent and very, empowering. I know exactly what I need to do to get that job. And so we've created a similar test here where you can say, yeah, I know, I've used Postman for a year. I know how to make calls to REST, GraphQL, and other protocol endpoints. And then you can go through and check the ones that you do know. And then you'll see, kind of like your score at the bottom and so forth. And you'll see some resources to level up your test skills. So a little bit of a sneak peek for next week. Okay, I'll take my screen off the view. And thank you very much, Ian, for posting all those links, and Arlemi for reposting those links. Are we ready?
I'm ready.
Yes.
Is Arlemi ready?
I'm ready.
All right.
Okay. Ian, what are we doing today?
We're putting Arlemi and other things under the microscope. So we like to stump Arlemi around here. And so what we decided is Joyce got a fancy piece of equipment, which is a little microscope. And so we wanted to try to figure out, could we put something under the microscope and have Arlemi figure out how to identify what it is programmatically? So what we're going to do today is we're going to get Arlemi to set up a Google Vision API service, and we're going to call that API, and we're going to send it some photos and see if it can identify what we're putting under the microscope. But here's the thing. There's actually a way that we can tell this Vision API to access URLs to go examine like actual photos. So what we would like all of you to do that are watching today is to post on Twitter with a hashtag and post a photo of some kind. It could be like macro photography where you're like really up close on something, or it can just be whatever you like. And we're going to pick some of those at random. And we may let Arlemi pick some of those at random. And we're going to grab the URL from that image, and we're going to send that in and see what Google will identify in that photo as well.
So you can take the Twitter URL and that feed it
well,
in.
you can take the URL of the image itself from Twitter, and you can put that into the body of your request. So we're going to do all of this in Postman, and we're going to see the responses that come back from Google as far as what it's identifying in the photo.
Do we know the hashtag already, or not yet?
I'm thinking we're going to use something like Postman livestream. Unless y'all want to come up with something a little more punchy, like Microscope Arlemi or something. I don't know. I think Postman livestream. I think it'll be a little easier. So
Microsoft Arlemi, half of the people are not going to write it correctly, so we're not going to pick them up from the search. I don't want to.
Right.
I don't want to put that.
All right. So I'll post it in chat. We're going to use the hashtag Postman livestream. So go ahead, folks, everybody watching, go ahead and start posting like your favorite picture of something, or if you've got like a camera phone of some kind, you want to take some really up close pictures. Please make them professionally friendly and work friendly and family friendly and so on. Well, that's also why we wanted them to post on Twitter so that Arlemi can kind of pick and choose which pictures he wants to look at and pull up on the live stream. So go ahead and start posting your pictures with that hashtag, and we'll get into that. We'll start drawing from those in a little while, but we have to get Arlemi set up first with the Google Vision API. So Arlemi, your first task is going to be go figure out how to get an API key for the Google Vision API.
Well, I will give another shout out. So the hashtag is posted here, and it's just on Twitter, correct?
Yeah, we'll just do Twitter for now. Yeah.
Okay, so share. There's two reasons why. Please share your photos. One is because this fancy device that we're using is not that fancy, so it might not have as good quality images as we'd like. Who knows? We'll find out. And then the other is, yes, you do have a chance to win some nice Postman swag. Okay, Arlemi, your turn.
Okay.
Would you like to start sharing your screen, or do you want to tell us what your thought process is?
I can share my screen and walk through the process. Is that going to be big enough? Are you doing stuff on the screen now? No, I'm gonna start doing stuff, and I guess like as long as I'm not writing code or anything, it should be fine. Just keep it.
Yeah, so there shouldn't be any code writing, but you will need to go into Google, create an app, enable that API, and so on. Yep.
Okay, so
and then get an API key.
First one is.
How did you pick this one?
So I actually went through and evaluated a number of image detection APIs because we've been planning this for a little while now. And this was probably the easiest one I could find to get set up, but also the best at identifying what was in a photo. There are a handful of what we call computer vision APIs, and some of them do better than others. Some of them are free. Some of them cost a lot of money. Google was kind of a good balance between getting started for free. You get 1,000 image credits to start. I think it's either per day or per month. I think it's per day, actually. Google's always pretty generous with their quotas. And they've actually got a thing right on this page, Arlemi. Actually, if you scroll down, there's like a little try it now where you can just drag an image in and it'll show you kind of what comes back from the API. So if you just go grab any random photo off your system and drop it in there, it'll show you
my system.
It'll kind of give you a breakdown of like what it sees in there, if it's doing face detection or object detection. It'll do some interesting tagging, things like that. It can also do logo recognition. So yeah, you got to do the I'm not a bot thing. All right, so scroll up a little bit. So it thinks it's a clock, but if you scroll up just a little bit more, there would be some other tabs where you can kind of go through, like these are the labels, this is a logo that we think. And so what the API is going to do is it's going to...
Blue. It's wrong.
You tell
Google's
them.
Wrong.
You tell them first. That's pretty cool.
But it can,
like
but it can also do
OCR.
it can also do text OCR. It can do like signature recognition, like all kinds of interesting things as far as like extracting text out of things. And if you're curious about colors, it'll give you the color breakdown. All kinds of really
that's also very interesting.
And from what I read in the documentation, the safe search tab on here is if you send something a little risky, it'll tell you how likely it is that this is like not safe for work, and can actually add blurring on parts that are maybe shouldn't be shown. But we're not going to get into that one. A spoof, I think, is like I think that this is like a spoof of the Postman logo, or like somebody's making fun of something. Like if I put on glasses and headphones to look like Arlemi, would that tag as a spoof of a photo of Arlemi or something like that? Or I would think like a Halloween costume. You're trying to dress up like a celebrity or something like that. So this one's actually doing facial recognition. You can see it's drawing the boundary box around the head, and it's also detecting where the eyes and the mouth and things like that are.
It's working on a GIF as well, which is pretty impressive.
But it won't do video. So unfortunately, we can't upload video to this. We can only upload static images. But what we'd like all of you to do that are watching the live stream is start using that hashtag and start posting either a GIF or a still image of something. And we're going to get Arlemi to kind of draw some of those from Twitter. So we'll have Arlemi go look up that hashtag in a little while. And so here we can see the request, the response, the request URL. And the nice thing is we've actually got a Postman collection kind of started on this already that we can start to use.
Spoilers.
Arlemi, do you not accept your cookies?
No, never.
It's just like a big block there.
Yeah, that's why I went into the more details, but you couldn't. Okay, so So I'd like to start free with that. That's very nice. I only got here because you told me what service we were going to use, but sounds about right. I'm eligible for more free money.
If people want to follow along, Ian, should they be following along, or not for this?
They can follow along. Yeah, no, they can totally follow along. So what we're going to do is I posted a link to a workspace that we'll have Arlemi fork from later. But there's actually a Vision API in there already, but not the one that we're going to be using today. So one of our colleagues actually went and built a workspace with a Vision API collection in there, and it's got some of it. So you will need to go through Google Cloud and sign up, very similar to what Arlemi is doing. But they offer it's all free credits. You do have to enable billing, but it'll like everything we're doing today is free. So you have to give it a credit card just in case you go like really wild and do tons and tons of images on this.
Let me quickly check if I don't have that on my other account.
Okay.
Because I think I have some personal details here that I'd rather.
Yep. No, that's fair. Or just take that browser off the screen for a minute. Maybe we could just hide your browser for a moment, and we'll just go back to the screen while Arlemi gets that set up.
So I'll be setting up the account. You said a contact business is fine.
And I dropped a link in chat for the workspace if folks want to go take a look at that. You'll be able to join, but you will need a Google app set up, and you do need to enable the Google Vision API in that application. So once Arlemi finishes this part of the setup, then we'll show his screen again, and we'll kind of walk through the rest of that process. So we're just hiding it so y'all don't see his address and credit card details. As much as we'd all love to see Arlemi's credit card.
Where are my credit card details?
We've done a couple live streams about image recognition. It's curious. I don't really know. Ian, did you work in something related to that? No. Okay. A video? No. It was about the video transport. No. I could have sworn I was watching the stream last week and I thought you were talking about what you had worked on, but maybe it was all just lies, or maybe I just am misremembering. But I remember doing a stream with Box. Box is a file storage, and they had some cool capability to add on, like machine learning, image recognition. You could train your own models. Yeah.
Nice. No, what I talked about last week on the stream. So last week's live stream, I was live streaming my 3D printer, and we gave away a bunch of these little cool astronaut figurines. But one company that I worked at a long time ago, we were doing some live stream using Flash. So it was like this really old technology for sending video over Flash. If you remember that old plugin from browsers from like a decade ago, it was a technology that someone was coming up with to broadcast live video using Flash from Adobe back in the day.
I've heard people make Flash jokes or jokes about Flash, but I don't know why they're laughing. Just because it's older?
Yeah, it was like a really old, really janky kind of technology. It was this really big plugin that you had to add into your browser, and there were constantly updates, and then there were a lot of security concerns with it, and so people stopped developing with it, and it eventually kind of went away.
We should absolutely do a stream on Flash, or like all the really, really like legacy, very traditional.
Remember when? We'll call it Remember When. We'll like pull out like floppy diskettes, and
yeah.
I actually have a USB powered floppy drive, and I actually found some old discs from back in college when I was writing code like 25 years ago. It's interesting to go back and look at that code now.
Arlemi, do you know what a floppy disk is?
Yes, I do know what a floppy disk is.
Are you ready to share your screen again?
Yeah. That should be set up now. So I've created my account, put all the details they were asking for, and now I want to go and create a Vision API thing. So I'm just going to go in here.
Yep.
Look for Vision. The Vertex AI Vision.
It'd be the Vision AI Cloud Vision API. It was, yep.
But yeah, that's documentation. I wanted the service. Okay, so try Vision AI 3.
I cannot say AI without first wanting to say API.
Yeah, when I try to use the OpenAI API, struggle is real.
I think OpenAI has. Oh,
you
said OpenAI's Open API?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
All right. So one of the things you're going to have to do is once you've created an app, is you're going to need to enable this API for your application.
Okay. So let me go. I think I'm already on one app.
Yep. So go to APIs and services. Go to enabled. Yep. And this is where you're going to find the Vision API in the list, and you're going to enable that for your application.
YouTube. Oh, so I do have some stuff. Yeah, I'll do this one because that's the one I just created. And then it should give me enable API services. And here I can look for Vision. Feel like it went on a loop. Cloud Vision API. Okay. Enable. That's when my credit card gets charged. And I'll
only if you go over 1,000. Actually, go back a page because I think it was actually the next one down. So back up to where you were searching for the APIs.
Oops.
And type in Vision again. We want the Vision AI API.
Yeah. Probably go and disable the other one then.
So there'll be a few ways that we can set this up. So with Google, when you tell it to analyze an image, you can use an image that's already uploaded to Google Cloud, or you can tell it to use a URI or a URL for an image. So you should be all good to go from here. What you're going to need to do now, Arlemi, is go get an API key for your application.
So show us
figure out your authentication.
Yeah, I'm just looking for where I can disable the other one I enabled. Okay. 1 sec.
Is it Cloud Vision is the umbrella, or that's a totally separate?
I think it's a separate API.
Separate. Okay, so it's Vision AI.
Yeah, we're using the Vision AI API.
Yeah, it's already just by the name. I'm getting confused. I see some people joining from all around the world.
Yeah, we have
Submit pictures from all
folks-
around the world.
Oh, that would be fun because I think you can recognize location.
There's actually a landscape detector on here. So yeah, if you go take a picture of a landmark or something in your area and use that hashtag that we posted. So I'll put that in the chat again. So we want to look for Postman live stream. So go ahead and post some photos on Twitter using this hashtag. I dropped it in chat. So just use the Postman live stream hashtag. And we'll have Arlemi pick some of those in a little while.
So confused with this interface. I just want to go back to my project.
In the drop down.
Yeah, that was there.
Click on the project from there.
Click here, and that's it. I'm in the project. So that's it. I'm in
so
the project.
as long as it's enabled, that's really all we need.
Yeah, it's enabled. So now I need to go find my service and then look for the credentials of this one. Create credentials. API key, because that's much easier than OAuth. We make it easy.
Yeah, the nice thing about this,
the
nice thing about this API is it'll allow you to use an API key.
Yeah, because I was going to say, if anyone wants to go ahead and play with OAuth, go ahead. We can try and help you.
That's part 2 of this challenge.
Okay.
That could be a challenge in and of itself. Get Google OAuth to work in Postman.
Completely leaked my key, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Let me do that again.
For like a long time, too.
Yeah, it was like... Okay, so can you hide my screen for a second?
Yes, hold on.
Okay.
Nothing to see here, folks. No API keys misread.
Oh, it's taking a while to create now. Okay, we've got it.
Okay,
So,
ready?
right.
You sure?
Yeah. I'm just putting it aside so I have it somewhere. Okay, so I've got my API key, so I should be able to call the service. And now, so we have an API service created. We have an API key, and now all that's left is calling that API.
Yep. And so the nice thing is in the search bar at the top, if we search for Google Vision API. So let's put Google in the name. Yeah, Google. I don't think he called it Cloud Vision. Just look for Google Vision API.
There you go.
Yep, that's the one. And that's our colleague Ali that put this together. Now, Ali put this together for 2 of the Google Vision API endpoints, but not the one that we're going to use today. So Arlemi's still going to have to go back to the documentation and figure out how to use this. So we're going to start by forking the Vision API collection that's in here to another workspace because Arlemi won't be able to modify this this collection. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to fork this, and we can reuse some of what's here. But we'll get Arlemi
I need to tell Ali to add some documentation. What am I supposed to do?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, fork it to my workspace. Let me see. So that's the public workspace. Probably don't want to put it there. I'll put it in my personal workspace. Keep it on this fork and fork it.
Can you drop a link to that main one? I can't find it just searching. Or I didn't see what you searched.
Oh, yeah, I will drop that in chat again for everybody. So this is the link to Ali's workspace. And again, we're just going to fork the Vision API collection into our own collection here. So this one will do web detection, which is basically if you send it a photo, it'll tell you if it finds other photos like it online. The landmark detection is an interesting one where it'll try to detect, like if you send a picture of the London Bridge or Eiffel Tower or something like that, it'll try to identify that. But the endpoint that we're going to be using today is going to be a little bit different. So we want Arlemi to go try to figure out which endpoint we need to go hit, and then how we need to send a data payload to it, and then what kinds of functionality that we want to use.
Okay, so I'm going to go... it's called Vision AI API. Google. So that's the one. Oh no, there was a.
I think we should do another stream. Have you seen that the Twitch person that does like gets images and they know exactly where it is just by some like very undetailed image?
Like GeoGuessr.
Yes,
Yeah, the
GeoGuessr.
GeoGuessr, yeah.
I play that. It's fun.
So what we want to try to find, Arlemi, so there's an endpoint that just annotates the image. So we want to try to find the endpoint where we can send it an image and tell it what kind of feature that we want. Like, are we looking for the objects in the photo? Are we looking for the text and the OCR? Things like that.
So you're telling me we're not going to use the RPC API?
No, we'll just use the REST API. Yeah.
Oh.
Although
Okay,
the gRPC version of this is actually really neat because you can just stream a whole bunch of images and get like one big payload back.
Okay, let's start with this. Let's see how far I can go with that one.
All right.
So one thing that I know is that as much as like Google has tons of APIs, but they have this weird format called discovery document for their APIs, and that's not one thing you can import in Postman. So I couldn't just like get all this into Postman. For some reason, they have their own thing, whereas like most people have OpenAPI. But they still have documentation, and I'm looking for an endpoint to which I probably send an image to annotate. Would look about right.
Okay.
And that's actually the same one we had in the document, like the try it out thing when we played around with it. So I can go with that one. It's a post method. And it's this. I'll go ahead. I'm gonna add a new request to this one. I'm actually gonna start it to the top. Post request, paste it there, and then I probably need to send my API key somewhere.
It'll just be so the nice thing about this is we can send that in as a parameter. So you can set that as a secret credential on Postman so that we don't see what your API is. But it'll just be a parameter to your URL.
Just looking if it's part of that documentation, because that's something that's nice to add to, like, how do I, not everyone has an Ian to help them.
So I actually used Ali's collection to figure that out because Google doesn't make it very easy to see how to send that authentication API key.
Might be here.
That's like the first thing you should spend time documenting.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
How do I use it?
Yeah. So that access token would be the OAuth token. But in this case, we actually want to use the API key. So
yeah, I guess they don't. Just don't see it. That's fine.
Yeah. So if you go look at Ali's collection, you'll see an example there of how Ali is doing it. So it's just passing a key parameter, and that key is stored as a collection variable.
So I'm going to add it here. This one is going to go annotate image, correct parameter, key, and I think I might not use collection variables because you can't do secret variables in the collection variables. So I'm going to move it.
All right, we already got some photos posted on that hashtag.
I'll hurry up.
I'll ask more people because the first one that I saw says that it's been flagged for potentially sensitive content. So
oh no.
Yeah.
I see two photos and they're both perfectly safe.
Right now. Okay.
So what I'm going to do also, instead of doing this, just because I kind of want to be smart about it, I will remove this from here, and I remove this from every single endpoint, and I'm gonna define the authorization at the collection level.
Oh, you should submit a pull request to improve the collection.
API key, it's going to be in the query parameters. The key is key, and the value is key. And now I'm going to go and create a new variable. There's no environment. Create a new environment. And that's going to be Google Vision AI. And I think I still have it saved. Hopefully that's my key. Let me see. I like it. So I'm in a personal workspace, which means only I have access to here. So I'm gonna save it as an initial value as well, and it's being shared between my different accounts, which is very fine. And now we have this annotate image endpoint, which
you need to pick your environment from the top right.
Good catch. Nice. So that should work. All
right.
Oh well, it just did not look. Right, for some reason it shows my API key, but it's fine. Don't mind me. Okay, that's fine. Now, what do we send to this?
Were you using a helper and it was showing in the query params?
Yeah.
Yeah, it always does that, even on the auth tab and stuff, unfortunately. Yeah.
That's fine. So it's got a request body.
Yep.
And then
so we have this requests block where you can send an array of objects, and then the object is the annotate image request, which so it starts getting into a very nested type of structure where now we've got the image, the features that you want to do, any context that you want to send with it. And so the image is where we're going to pass in the URL. The features is which feature do we want to process? Like, are we looking for text? Are we looking for the landmarks and things like that?
And then, so it doesn't really say what's optional and what's not. I'm going to assume that the image is not optional.
We will need the image and we will need features, but the image context we won't need today.
Okay, so let me start writing that right here. So it's JSON and
so one other thing that Google does a little bit differently is it won't take this as a JSON body.
Interesting.
Yeah, what I actually had to do was write my JSON in a file and go into binary mode here in Postman and upload that JSON file as binary. Yeah. So
why is there
and that
documentation demonstrating what?
I
wonder why. Like tech from a back end perspective, why they've done that. Speed?
So the source here, we're going to use the image URI, and this is where you can just type in the URL for that.
Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to create my request body here, and then I'm going to copy paste to Postman.
Okay. So maybe we can try to figure out how to work around that. But the only way I could get this working was to write my JSON file, save it on my system, upload it into Postman to send as a binary file as part of the request. So here we've got all kinds of choices. So if we want to start with just the annotation, there should be like an image annotation or something like that in there.
Can you scroll up slightly more?
Yeah.
At all? Okay.
There we go. So the image properties will tell you a little bit about the image, and that'll do like your colors and things like that. And the nice thing about features, the features is also an array, so we can actually have it do multiple things, multiple sort of analyzing of the photo. Yeah. So you can say, I want to do OCR and landscape and object properties and things like that. We can do a whole bunch of them all in one.
I'll do a safe search detection.
Okay. So that's just going to come back with the percentages of is this a spoof? Is this not safe for work and things like that?
Okay. So let me. I just wonder what it's going to do with this blue.
Oh, if you copy and paste that? Yeah, let's find out.
Good. Okay, so all I'm missing now is the image. Should I go on Twitter and find one?
Yeah, if you want to. Yep. So we got some good photos on there so far. So if you just want to pull up that live stream, Postman live stream hashtag, looks like we've got a handful of photos from Jesse and Cyan. Sorry if I don't pronounce your name correctly, but we've got a couple of photos posted.
So I'll start from the oldest one, and then I'll just go.
I know where that is. Ooh, these are good pictures. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me get this one
so
first.
Yep. So if you right click on this photo and grab the URL of the photo and put that in the request body. Yep.
Okay. Send. Nope.
All right. So what do we have as a message here?
Collision API has not been used in the project before.
So in this case,
disabled?
so it is. So we can go back and double check that it's enabled in your dashboard.
Oh, wait. So quick tip: if you're trying to open a link from here, you need to press, I think, Command. Yeah, and then it opens the link.
Yeah. Or if you're on Windows,
request.
Control click. Yep.
Yeah. See. Ah.
Oh, it didn't
that
enable it.
was
So
it was a
well,
Cloud Vision
let's
API.
yeah. So let's Oh, okay. So let's re-enable it then.
Yeah. Or maybe
I thought it was
that
I thought it was the Vision AI API, or maybe it needs both. I only had to enable the one.
Let's see. So maybe I need. I'm gonna need a note. Oh, is the API key like account bound or?
Yeah.
API
It's based on the app actually, and the app is tied to your account. So yeah,
Okay,
you
nice.
shouldn't need to change the API key.
Okay, let's see if I try again. It might need a little while. Actually, what I just did, I also pressed Command and Enter to send my request, because I know I've been recording some videos and I had someone like wondering how I was sending the request without clicking the send button. So just so you know, if you're not seeing me click the send button, it's because I'm doing Command Enter, which is a shortcut to send.
So this error is saying we can't access the URL currently. Please
Yeah,
download the content.
I'm not
and pass it in.
surprised because it's the.
So
like
I was able to do
Twitter.
this on Twitter. So go back to Twitter, but instead of grabbing the logged in or the zoomed in version,
This. Nope. Well, we
So
can try
just go-
that way.
just go. All right.
Wait, sorry. I'm probably not. Okay, it's the same.
So let's do this. So just go back to the Twitter feed. Close this, and then just grab that image URL. So right click on that image and grab the image address and paste that in. I was able to get it to work just using this.
Works on my machine.
All right.
Okay. For some reason it works with that one. Nice. Okay, so
Cool.
it is.
Can you zoom in one more click, please?
Yeah. Do you want to put our faces to the right hand side, maybe?
Sure.
Yeah, we can do that.
So yeah, it's probably the best. Yeah. And then I can hide this and give it one more.
Hello, Pooja. How's it going?
So thank you, Cyan, because you've given us all very unlikely. So it's very safe picture.
It's blocked on my machine when I'm looking at it through Chrome browser.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah,
interesting.
it's like marked as sensitive.
So we got colors, blue. Well, which would be true because there's a lot of.
Yeah, there's a lot of blue in
I
the
guess
buildings.
this is like shades. Yeah, shades of
Oh
blue.
yeah, for sure blue.
Yep. And so the whole analysis here is like what percentage of it is blue and all that kind of stuff. So you can get some really interesting detail out of this. Let's try that landmark detection. Let's see if it can detect where this is.
Let me see what else we have first. Colors, crop hints.
Does anyone in the chat want to guess where that photo is? Because I've been there.
Oh, that'd be a good one too. Have you?
I have, yeah.
What effects?
Well, maybe it's a common statue. I'm not sure.
So maybe you should play GeoGuessr. Let me see if you can get any info.
Okay, GeoGuessr is never this easy.
So you can see the name is in English there.
Yeah,
Can
kind
you
of
zoom in
gelato
more?
place.
You can see there's like HSBC and what is this? Yes.
Can you see the people?
Yeah, I'm looking at the people.
I wonder whether it would pick up face detection
Okay,
on
We have
let's see.
one
little
guess
tiny.
for Singapore.
Yeah, it would have been one of my guesses as well. Okay, so let's do. So we want to enable landmark detection, and landmark detection was in features. So we want another feature of type landmark detection. Did not work. Okay, I can just write this one, I think. So features type is landmark.
All right, let's see if Google can figure this out.
Million Park, which doesn't tell me. Oh, I guess I have latitude and
Latitude
longitude.
and longitude.
Cyan,
Should
go
I-
ahead. What's the answer?
Go ahead.
Or we can look it up on LongLat. I don't know. I believe it's Singapore. I feel like they have a lot of those dragon fish,
Yeah.
lion statues.
Let's see if there was
Well,
another
given-
one for like a
Given that
location.
one of the lat long was like a single digit, it's going to be fairly close to the equator.
You're so good with Latlan. Okay, we've confirmed. This is
Singapore.
indeed.
Nice.
It is Singapore.
All right, good call. Good call.
Singapore. It's a beautiful
Ooh.
picture, yeah.
If you want to do another one with location, actually, like
Well, I
this
thought
one
we
would-
were going to be using microscope images.
So
Wait,
that's next.
think
So that'll be
this
next.
one. This one is a trick, no? It's like a miniature village.
It's a miniature.
Is
yep.
it miniature?
That looks like
Look at the size of the trees.
I do not have good depth perception.
That's a big Ben, but
Yeah.
in a miniature village. Okay, we can
Pooja's
try.
guess was correct. That one was indeed Singapore.
They also detect the
Ooh,
language.
does it detect the
Oh.
language?
Handwritten
that would be
language.
one.
Okay,
Yeah.
wait, Cyan. We get one from Jesse first. So what could we do? Let's do this one and see what animals it detects. So I need to go for the link.
Okay, does anybody know what animal that is?
It's an endangered species.
Okay, we
Start
got a
there.
ringer in the audience guessing Brussels.
Oh, it could be Brussels, yeah.
Does Brussels have a lot of wildlife?
How is that going to work? No, not the rhino. I think she was talking
Oh.
about the the thing that
Okay.
detected then. Okay, so that works. What feature? Is there a page that shows me all of the features? It's probably in here. I think that was features.
Yep.
An object.
Yeah, click on
feature.
Yeah.
It's gonna be easier. Close this. Type. Click on type. Okay. There we go. Unspecified feature type. Face detection. We do label detection. I guess.
The web detection will also give you similar photos to what Google has previously indexed online as well. The object localization may give you some information as well.
Yeah. So we'll do object localization and the
Maybe
type.
the label detection as well. Try the label
Yeah.
detection to see if it'll label the image.
Label detection. Cannot access the
Can't
yeah,
access
I
it
was
now.
scared of that because it's small like this. So how am I going to get this one now?
Let's try that URL because it was able to take it with the small version, but the medium version had problems earlier.
Let's see. Otherwise, I'll teach everyone a trick.
There we go.
Okay, we're fine.
All right,
Cloud,
so
yes.
so detected clouds and sky. What else?
plant, ecoregion,
Hey, rhinoceros.
rhino. Very nice. Tree, working animal. It's hard at work.
I'm pretty sure
yeah.
they're not working animals.
Well,
Right.
I mean, if they're in a space where you need to pay and see them do what they do,
Oh.
it's probably
Entertainers.
some type of work. yeah.
Technically, yeah.
Tree, working animal, elephant, and mammoth.
Interesting.
Family.
It thinks it's a sculpture too. That's interesting too.
Maybe it is.
It could be actually.
Maybe it is. Yeah, maybe.
Okay. Does it say anything about the location? Let's see. Dominant colors, no. No. Crop hints. Oh, did I remove the location? One. Image landmark detection. Yeah.
Yeah, so it might not have detected any landmark, and so
Yeah.
maybe
Let's
just
do
didn't give
object
any data for that.
localization, maybe.
So you can also collapse things, like if you collapse line 4 in the output,
yeah,
it'll collapse down some of that stuff as well.
Animal.
So it found
I think it's
so
like
this is just framing. Yeah. But it is detecting like, oh, there's an animal here, in this XY grid,
Okay, very nice. And then we had what did I do? Go back. My search. The mini big Ben. Okay, so we've done this. Yeah, this one I think on the microscope would be, if someone can, I can just do it. We can crop like a piece of that. Let's do.
Yeah. So next, what we'll do is we'll get Joyce to grab some photos off the microscope and maybe post those to Twitter if possible, Joyce, with that hashtag.
Oh, I gotta post it to Twitter.
Well, that way Arlemi can have the URL for it.
Okay.
Because the only other way for the Google Cloud API to examine is to actually upload the image to Google Cloud and then pass that Google Cloud reference to Arlemi that he can paste in that request. So I think it might be faster if you can just post that on Twitter.
Got it.
Okay, so I took a screenshot of a very little piece of that picture, and then we can.
Does anyone want to guess, my plant people? What part did you take the screenshot of?
This yellow one here.
Does anyone want to guess what the yellow one is? I feel like I know what the
any botanists in the crowd.
Is Pooja still there? Pooja knows plants. The ones with the color, I think, are hydrangeas.
They look like.
What is that? An oak leaf? Is there an oak bush in the corner?
I have no idea. Okay, let's see. What else do we have? So,
we should do that
one though.
Yeah, we should do that one. I'm guessing it's going to think that it's actually Big Ben. I don't think it's going to detect like, hey, the stuff around here, like that's not actually Big Ben.
No, I'm actually
curious what it comes up with.
I don't think it's Big Ben now. Copy image address.
So we have a guess that they were mums.
Yeah, chrysanthemums, maybe.
And the hydrangeas. But the yellow ones?
Oh, I removed the landmark one. What was landmark detection?
Detection, I think.
Landmark detection.
I think we have a guess for where this is in the chat, but I won't spoil it. We'll find out via API.
Okay, so that is fine. Image properties, colors, crop hints, localize. Okay, it knows there's a plant in the corner. It knows there's a building. Okay.
Oh, that's it. So the landmark detection didn't pick anything up.
Did I? Yeah.
No, we didn't get any landmark on it at all. Interesting.
It's like fraud detection.
Oh, maybe this one would say
it's a forgery.
What was the? I wonder the spoof. I wonder if this would come up with the spoof.
Oh.
That was the safe search detection. Yeah. Oh, that'd be interesting. If that actually flags as being a spoof, that would be really interesting.
No. Oh,
just
what do you mean?
Try it again. Just reload. No, very unlikely to be a spoof.
Very unlikely to be a spoof.
Wow.
It's a good spoof.
That would have been so cool if it had detected that as like, hey, this isn't actually the real Big Ben. That would have been great.
Okay, so that's good. Okay, should we go into because actually I just looked at the time.
Can we do one more? Can we do that chalkboard with the writing? I'm curious whether it would detect what's on that chalkboard.
There's this one as well. I wonder what it's... Okay, let's do chalkboard.
So I think Jesse's the one that submitted the spoofed Big Ben. It's a real photo.
Well, yeah, it's a real photo.
It's a real photo.
It's not actually Big Ben though.
Of a fake place. Yeah, exactly.
It's a real photo of a fake place.
Yeah. Okay, let's do this one. So on this one, we know we have writings. Is there anything about writings?
So there were some like
Text detection.
Text detection. Yeah.
I'll keep the safe search one because maybe this is saying something that I shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Let's do this one.
Well, it won't actually translate, but oh, interesting. The detection or the description came up.
ZH. Thanks. Okay.
Okay. So it detects it. Interesting. So the description is coming up with the fragments of the text.
Yeah.
It's not translating that into English for us.
Let me see if it's.
That's interesting though. Is the description if we look at the description, is the description that the characters are actually matching on the description?
Yeah. That's what I was
with
looking.
What's on the chalkboard.
Got a dot. Very nice.
That's so cool. So it's actually detecting all of those individual phrases as well. Okay.
Very cool. Very cool.
Wow. Even the part in parentheses, it even put the parentheses in there. That is so cool.
Let me refresh that page. In case. Okay. So Joyce, you didn't post the little picture.
No.
So
because we're gonna be we're gonna look at the images in real life.
Yeah. So we'll look at the images and then we'll get Joyce to post it.
Okay.
Oh, are there multiple
Legoland.
fake European landmark entertainment parks?
Apparently.
Yeah, I went to one in Hamburg, I think, which was like an entire. It's got an airport, like a miniature airport, miniature like Italy and whatnot.
That was a Lego? That makes sense, just based on scale.
Yeah.
So I'm just doing my strategy to get a public URL when I don't want
to.
Oh, cool.
Wait, do you have to post it to have it hosted though?
No. Just have to drag and drop it.
Ah, very cool.
Oh, heck, I'll do that.
Oh wait, I have image properties. So this one is the crop of the flower.
Oh, of the flower. Okay.
So what would I do on this one?
Probably want to do object localization, and then maybe the label detection.
Yeah. Maybe. So is there a specific endpoint that I need to play with for like miniature things, or are we just hoping that the AI is?
No, it's all the same endpoint. Yeah, we're just hoping the AI can be like, oh yeah, this is this type of flower. I mean, it may just come up and just say all I can detect is it's a flower or a plant or something. But if it can tell us what kind of plant, that would be fantastic.
Oh,
so flower, plant.
Plant, very nice.
It's yellow.
Petal?
Yep. Terrestrial plant, nice.
Let me open it again just so you know what I'm like looking at, or what they're looking at. Looking at this little tiny.
Oh, it's so fuzzy.
So, I mean, the fact that it's so small and blurry, and that it still thinks like, "Hey, this is a flowered plant."
Grass pattern,
flowering plant, macro photography. All right.
Wood.
But it won't detect what kind of plant it is.
I mean, that's close enough. And I'm pretty sure if you're going the colors.
From a tiny little snippet. So I think the boundary on this is it has to be at least 50 pixels square. I think that was their minimum requirement. But the fact that it could get all of that just from a tiny little clip, which is super blurry, and still say, yep, this is a yellow flower.
And it's a public model. You know, if we were plant people, if we had a plant company, we would be training our own model on vegetation, you know, and it would get real smart on veg.
Well, so there's actually a way to specify your model somewhere. If you do here.
Yeah, there is some context that I think that you can add to it, and that'll help. I think maybe identify it, but
let's see.
The image context, yeah.
Well, I want to see so it was in feature, and then feature type again. Model string, model to use for regions table. Oh, so
built-in latest, built-in weekly. Oh, interesting. Okay.
Okay,
Cool. Well, I think it's time for the microscope aspect of this. Let's see.
I thought we were gonna do this first. I went to my many places to collect all these samples.
All right. So let's start with this. What I'm thinking is let's get Arlemi to guess what it is, and then we'll actually get the URL for it, and we'll see what Google thinks.
Okay, so I'm gonna take Arlemi's desktop off the screen, and then I will add our special guest.
And feel free in chat to try to guess what we're looking at here.
Is this a live image?
Yes, this is literally a USB feed. And Ian said this is fancy. It's $40 US. A friend was gonna throw it out, and I was like, I'll take it because I'll take any kind of trash. So I have a bunch of stuff here, and I'm gonna try really hard not to put my finger in there because it looks hideous.
So we also want to be careful that Joyce doesn't show her fingerprints and stuff as well, because
I mean, what could this be?
Well, so you need to be able to like identify it, right? Oh no, my finger.
Okay.
Do you know what this is?
It's a plant.
I have a guess what kind of plant.
I don't know the answer to that, so I wanted to know what it was.
Oh, okay.
Parsley.
Okay, you and JW Banning have guessed parsley.
I was going
to guess a mint leaf, but yeah.
I don't know what oncidium flower is. If neither of these are poisonous, I will confirm whether or not it's parsley.
Pooja thinks it's a fern.
Okay. Oh, my finger. Okay, so that's one. Let me just keep putting the things that I've gathered from my local surroundings here. This one I would love to know as well. Whoa, wrong way.
Oh, it's a berry of some kind.
Yeah.
This one I would like to know if it's poisonous because my dog keeps chewing on this.
Then you probably know if it's
well,
not poisonous, right?
My dog is very sick right now, so I'm not sure. What do we think this is? Anybody in... I'm in California. That's one clue.
It looks like a pumpkin. Like a green pumpkin.
Okay, I'll show you what it looks like in the camera. Hold on, let me turn up the light a little bit. Focus.
Can we get a banana for scale?
Is this a pumpkin? Is this a pumpkin?
Well, I didn't say it was a pumpkin. It looks like.
Here's another one.
Oh, I know what that is.
Do you? Wait, does Arlemi?
It's blurry.
I think I know what it is.
Is it literal trash?
You don't know what this is?
I don't know, it looks like a stone of some sort.
Looks like a seashell or like a sand dollar or something.
Oh, I should have been taking pictures of this the whole time.
Oh, you haven't?
I'll take a picture.
Ruby tomato. Oh, I don't know what that is.
Does I feel... What?
It looks like a seashell, yeah.
Ruby tomato?
No, Ruby tomato was for the... So there's a delay on LinkedIn. So I'm assuming that was about the...
Oh, well, interestingly... Here's another one. I really don't want my finger on there.
Tomato.
It's a stick. Oh.
It's a 4...
It's a 3-leaf clover.
Yeah, 3-leaf.
Okay, well, I don't want to put my finger in the thing, so I'll take that one off. And I do have one.
Oh, microplastics.
This one is for Scion. It's going to be fresh.
Okay.
Nice.
Look at how disgusting this looks. Yeah, see, the quality of these microscope shots aren't so... Oh, my finger! Yeah. Okay, there's one more thing that I think would be good. Let me take a picture there.
All right.
Oops, I'm clicking on the wrong screen. Okay, so I asked ChatGPT, I'm going on a live stream with a microscope. What should I go collect?
Oh, that's cool.
And This is one of ChatGPT's suggestions.
Sand. Salt crystals?
I would guess salt. Yeah.
Okay, so we do have some guesses about specific species, varieties of tomato. We have plum tomato, and then JW Banning is guessing salt. Let me take a shot there.
Can we get a shot of the that first plant that you put on that we thought was either parsley or mint? Curious.
Might look like a
Wipe it
tree on
over.
the
Yeah.
We'll see. Arlemi thinks it looks like a tree, but maybe the vision is smarter.
Thank you.
I mean, you know what I mean, like knows more about plants. And the berry too. I need to find out if it's poisonous because my dog keeps eating it. Can turn the light up a little bit. Is that blurry?
No, I think it's okay.
It's fine.
I mean, we saw that it was able to detect from that little tiny, yellow flower, that it was a flower of some kind. So I think the blurriness factor won't be a problem here. So yeah, lots of guesses on salt, plum tomato, microplastics for the seashell, maybe.
What's microplastic?
It's just like a
pellets?
small, tiny bit of plastic. Yeah.
All the plastics we have in our bodies. That's the
Yeah.
microplastics.
Ooh, political. Okay, so now what do I do? Go to Twitter and tweet them?
Yeah, if you can access those
Okay.
on your system, and then
I'm gonna take
well,
my microscope
the-
off the screen, and then in the meantime, Arlemi can continue parsing
Yeah,
responses.
yeah, you
So I
want
was
to do some other
actually-
Twitter.
I was actually playing with this one because we haven't done it.
Yeah, that one's neat.
This picture, but it says bad image data, so it may be because I copied the wrong link. Let me try again. The copy image address. Place this. That might be better. I've done image properties.
Personal protective equipment. Interesting.
Wait, did I mean,
I would have that for a little bodyguard.
yeah, I would
mini
get probably
robot.
with this. Font art, yes. Oh, I'm wondering, is that I don't know if Mercy you're still on the chat, but was this like an AI generated one, or is this something you found?
It looks like it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Mm.
And then we're just having AIs talk to AIs, and now we're the bots because we just pass data from one to the other.
So someone has actually modified these ChatGPT things to generate 3D models of things to actually 3D print. I would love that little robot as a 3D print. That'd be great.
Animation, illustration,
cool.
graphics, fashion accessory. I guess that could be like a little necklace thing.
Mhm.
Little, not so little. Colors, crop hints. Yeah, okay. Okay, did you start posting, Joyce?
No, not yet.
No. I mean, you can do the GitHub one if you'd rather.
No, I just did it. I couldn't find where the photos went.
Ah, there you go.
All right.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, that's going to be tough. I'm going to enable the safe search detection for that one.
Oh. Well, it is very ambiguous.
Exactly. So we want. Probably should learn this one. No, it was actually safe search.
Is medical stuff like would that be like violence?
Let's see. Medical.
Possibly racy.
Okay. Medical would be more like blood.
Yeah,
Like
I mean, it
if-
looks like blood to me, or like a body part.
Yeah, but violence and medical are two different things, right?
Oh, okay, medical, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, possible racy.
Possible racy.
Let's see if it's a plum tomato or a ruby tomato, I believe were the guesses.
No, the ruby one was for the other one, I think.
Oh.
What?
So you need
packaged
to put
foods.
the label.
Yeah, I need the label back. Label edition.
So we could probably do that one instead of image properties. Let's keep the object detection. Let's keep the object localization. Let's just change that one. Yeah.
The object localization, because it's
Thinks
zoomed
it's an
in, doesn't.
eye.
Yeah. It's an
Oh.
eye. Astronomical.
Astronomical.
Yeah, kind of.
Tints
Tint
and
and shade.
shades. Science. Science.
This is one where if you did have
Automotive lighting. Wow.
the
Yeah,
model,
this is way
if
off.
you could input the model.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Close up, yes.
Oh, close up. Carmine
Closest
red.
one, yeah. I think close up is going to be the closest one we get.
Yeah.
And yeah, magenta.
Magenta. Interesting. But
Yeah, it's not.
it didn't detect that it was like a food or that it was a
Eye.
tomato or something like that.
How would that be
Let's look at the.
an eye?
Oh, scary.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
No, it's next.
Okay, next. Ooh.
Okay, that's gonna be interesting.
Textile.
Organism. Sequel patterns. Ceiling. Okay.
Transparent material. Yep.
Correct.
Metal.
Oh, I thought this
Metal?
one was so easy.
Fashion.
Fashion
art.
accessory.
I guess it doesn't deal well with like the zoomed and stuff. And so the other thing is, so you need to take into account it sees the background, right?
Yeah.
So this is identifying all of that as one thing, whereas
It's
we
saw
can
on the ceiling.
make the difference between what we observe and what's the background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's much easier for us. Yeah.
Yeah, like if the plate of this was like one solid color instead of the scratches and stuff, it might maybe have an easier time.
What if we run product search? Let me add another type.
I do have an ant infestation problem, and I was thinking about putting like a live ant under the microscope, but in my trying to secure samples, I crushed about 3 of them. Unfortunately,
Oh.
if you're an ant lover, but it looks horrifying under a microscope. So I also thought that might not be good.
No, it didn't run product search. Also,
In this case, it just doesn't detect it as a product. But like if you took a picture of like a soda can or whatever, it would probably identify the logo of the product.
yeah.
So that's what the product search is going to be doing.
Okay, what else? Let's see. This one it should find like something closer to what we've had so
We think
far.
it's the parsley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
It'll probably just tell us plant. But if it can tell us what kind, that would be great.
I keep on replacing that URL. I could be smarter and like create a variable and then update the variable, etc. Leaf.
Botany.
Nice. Terrestrial plant. What's
Terrestrial is
Marine.
just it's from Earth.
Marine.
I was wondering. Okay, marine plant. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Plant, tree, flower,
Flower.
flowering plant, annual plant.
Oh no!
Interesting.
It's annual,
What does that mean?
meaning it'll
Oh,
come
there's
back
annual
every
and
year.
perennial. Yeah.
Okay.
Or wait, does that mean it'll come back every year, or it'll die after a year?
The annual ones I think come back. The perennials you have to replant, I think.
Perennial means forever, though.
Isn't it?
Oh gosh, we don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay.
So it won't tell us the type. It does recognize that it is a plant.
Should I try
Yeah,
eating it?
No.
It doesn't
maybe
smell
not
like
live.
parsley. Okay.
No.
Does it smell like
Well,
mint?
maybe
'Cause that was my guess.
after the stream, maybe. But
Okay.
not.
When there's no one to watch me pass out.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. This one is gonna
Oh,
be.
this one will be
I'm-
interesting.
I want to say it's gonna say pumpkin.
Or
It
tomato
is-
or
yeah.
berry.
Yeah. Yeah, it could be a tomato as well.
I wonder if there is a model though, because I know for a like Google used to have an image recognition thing where you could take a picture of a plant and it would tell you what kind of plant
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
apparently
it's
this
from
API
this-
doesn't hook into that.
Specific model. Okay. It's the same thing. Oh no, there we go.
Flower,
Flower
petals,
petal.
plant, magenta,
Natural food.
natural food.
Think you're safe. Have at it.
I don't know about that.
Google has 70% confidence that it's food.
Still life photography.
That's correct.
I'm partly disappointed.
Yeah, I too
by
am
the
disappointed.
results. Yeah.
Lackluster Google Vision
Yeah.
AI API.
What happened to AI? Used to be so good. Let's see if we've got anything else to run through. No. Okay.
No.
That was good. Good, a good amount of stuff.
So the microscope, you saw the app that it was running in, that beautiful 1990s app, and it takes stills, and it takes time lapse, and it takes video. So we saw that the Vision API works with GIFs.
Yep.
Ian, you said it doesn't work with video.
Well, you can't upload a video, but if you can save a video and convert it to a GIF, then it'll try to grab some properties off of that.
I see. And then I believe I read the marketing blurb for this, and it said that you were gonna create a whole app, Arlemi. So we're running out of time if you want to get started on that part.
Okay.
No pressure.
Why not?
Just use ChatGPT. It'll make you an app in a couple of seconds, won't it?
I mean, what's the app supposed to do? You send it an image and it tells you what
basically
it is?
The documentation page that you're on.
That one.
Yeah, or you could create a mobile app. That would be neat, like the plant
Because, like,
plant detection thing.
Mhm.
That'd be
one
great.
thing that could be done would be the create flow that takes a URL as an entry, like as a parameter, and then you run through that request. But then you can't get the result of the request.
One thing, another app idea that I would have if we did a part 2 is if we have all share some sort of image sharing thing like Google Drive or Box or Dropbox or something like that, we can run it to add the tags, right? So that we can search by tags, because right now you can't search images.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah.
What if some images are containing some encoded information within? Is there something to detect and decode?
Ooh, that'd be neat.
I guess it depends how it's encoded. If it's like playing on the contrast of the text and like hiding it in the corner of the image, I'm assuming that like text detection would be able to pick this type of stuff up, probably with like a lower confidence. If it's literally like a puzzle that you need to solve in an image, I don't think, or at least not that one. I mean, this one doesn't recognize a leaf, so probably.
Well, isn't the language shot an example of encoded information? It's just encoded in a different language.
Yeah, that's what I mean. If it's language, that type of encoding, that's fine. Or like strings of characters. But if it's like you could encode something and just have images instead of text, or
yeah.
But there have been things in history where people have actually what do they call it? Not transcribing, is stenography, where you can take text and you like kind of scatter it throughout the image, and then you can like actually extract those bits back out. And so it'll make like each pixel like slightly blurry because it changes something. But if you know the 8th bit of every byte of this or whatever is going to be reconstructed back into text or whatever. So
yeah, I feel like you would have to feed it into another model, like topography. I'm watching this TV show right now, Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan, where they have satellite imagery. Arlemi, have you seen that one? Arlemi watches so much TV.
Nope.
It's like satellite imagery of the jungle, or like any kind of topography, right? And then being able to tell where mineral deposits are, or like even archaeological digs, I think, have done that before, where you can detect there's something there. There's something like man-made there.
Right. Yeah, they've actually been doing that. They've found like old Mayan ruins and things like that all around like South America, Central America, and they're just using like ground penetrating radar or whatever to find that stuff.
Okay, well, that was a very admirable effort, Arlemi. You didn't get to build the whole app, unfortunately, but good work navigating that API. What are some, I guess, any thoughts that you have around that API in particular, or Vision AI and future applications?
I wish their documentation was better, is one. I wish they had an open API, not a proprietary document. But it's just a perk you can get from some. Not everyone has it. That's fine. I think we could have done a lot more. I think we only played with talent point. We saw there was like options for models. There was options for like probably training your own models, etc. We could look further into this. I think if we want to create an app, the whole point would be have some data that's input somewhere outside and then some data that's outputted somewhere else, which we can technically do in Postman. So that would be one thing.
Yeah.
That's something I've heard about Google APIs. You were kind of critiquing the documentation, and we saw a couple areas where it's like, well, it would have been nice if they had done that, or Arlemi, you mentioned having an open API. I think that's one of the reasons why we've never done like Google Sheets API or Google one of the. Oh, have we? I feel like that's a risky.
I remember. Yep. I have PTSD from that.
I've heard that about so many different Google APIs. I think it's maybe they spend a lot of time on their tech, but maybe not on their documentation or their developer experience. So understandable, but it's still kind of cool tech. So
yeah,
Ian chose it.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, that was good. Oh, I wish we could have done some gRPC. That would have been fun.
That would have been so fun. There's still time.
Ian, not for next time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do it next time. Yeah.
And Ian, you were the one that chose. You looked at a bunch of different options, and you were kind of thinking like this would be the best option. In retrospect, do you think that was the right idea?
I think it was. Yeah. So like some of the APIs did better for like facial recognition. Like, oh yeah, there's a face, and it would actually show you where the eyes and the mouth of the person were. Like it's not detecting who the person is. But like the web detection one on Google was actually really neat. Like, here's a photo, go find other photos like it. Google has that as like a browser-based feature that you can do. But being able to see that kind of stuff in an API was really neat. Like I uploaded the picture of a jumping spider, and it's like, oh yeah, here are like a bunch of other pictures just like that. And so it's able to analyze the picture and immediately access its repository of all the other images and draw a correlation of like, oh, if you like that picture, here's a bunch of other pictures like it. So, some of the other APIs weren't as featured, and some of the other APIs weren't free. Like you had to like start paying for it right away, which is not something we want to promote on the live stream. We want to do stuff that's fun and free for people to kind of dive in and do interesting things with. But this one also seemed to be the most robust as far as detecting what's in the picture. Obviously it didn't get down into like, oh, this is the kind of plant or this is the kind of berry. But the fact that it could detect it as a plant, as opposed to, yep, that's got the color green in there, which is all I was getting out of some of the other Vision APIs, is just, this much of it is green and this much of it is white and this much of it is like magenta or whatever, but it wouldn't actually detect like it was a plant at all. So I think it was the best one to try to use for today.
And I have mixed feelings about facial recognition and facial surveillance and that kind of thing. I mean, all of us are clearly on a stream now. Our faces are on record, but all of that is really, really sketch. Like, and then the stuff with deepfakes like are just chilling and, so many, I don't know, it's interesting. Okay. So we always close out with shout outs, and we will be, Arlemi, do you want to pick winners live, or do you want to announce winners live for the people?
Am I meant to like pick them? Just like, I can just say names. Okay, cool. In that case, we've had a couple of people. We've had quite a few people jumping in. A couple that I know are from Postman, so you're not going to win today.
What? I participated.
Cyan has been super helpful and has been chiming in a lot, and Jesse was also chiming in a lot. So if these are my winners. Okay.
Yeah, so Cyan and Jesse, congratulations if you're still there. Please DM us, or we'll DM you on Twitter. congratulations. We'll get you some nice Postman swag sent out to your home. And let's close out with shout outs. I'm going to start first, and then Ian and Arlemi, feel free to have your own shout out.
Yeah,
I'm going to give a shout out. I'm going to give a shout out. That's why I told you now. I'm going to give a shout out for next week's stream. It's going to be 4 testers, and I'm really hopeful that we get some test people, professional API testers on the stream as well. Testers are, like Postman is synonymous with testing, and I'm really excited. Ian, you've been creating and really interested in stuff for the test community. I know Pooja, who chimed in earlier in the chat, has been creating some content. I've been creating some content and some learning courses, additional learning resources that have not been announced yet. So stay tuned for that. And so I'm really excited that we have people that are excited about the test community, and we're creating content, and there's so many testers that are contributing content. All right. Ian, do you want to go next?
Yeah, I've got a live stream coming up. We're going to get really nerdy with some tabletop gaming. So check that out. It'll be in 2 weeks, I think, 2 or 3 weeks. Yeah, check out our community forums as well. We've got tons of people that love hanging out on our community forum and helping out. If you're stuck on anything in Postman, there's a lot of great people there that are willing to help you out.
Is it Dungeons and Dragons related?
Maybe.
I've always wanted to learn, but it sounds kind of boring to me. Is that a good stream to go to if I don't currently play?
Yeah, I think it'll be fine.
There's nothing to learn about Dungeons and Dragons. You just need to be yourself.
Well, I don't know the rules and everything.
That's why.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to learn if you're gonna get like really immersed in the game. But we're gonna take a portion of it, and we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna build an API, and we're gonna learn about testing it in Postman.
Super cool. And Arlemi, do you have any shout outs?
Yeah, I've got so Ian mentioned the community forum, which is a perfectly way into my community shout out. Can you share my screen quickly? Because I want to share one of the posts that was posted on the community forum in the community showcase section. So if you're in there, actually, so we've got Pravin, which is one of the Postman supernovas, has created a little collection that one of the requested feature we have, or one of the things we have that's open requested, is how do I add comments to my JSON like request body? Well, you can't do that because you can't write comments in the JSON body because the API just like goes crazy and doesn't understand what's happening. But he created that little library that passes out comments before the request is sent, which means you can write your comments. They'll show in the documentation, but they won't be actually sent to the API. So if one of you, I'll post that in Slack, and if one of you can actually post it in the chat, that would be nice. Yeah, so that's the link to his post, but then there's a link to the workspace where he actually demos like how it's done. So you can go in there. If you want to use that, you can fork the collection and start playing with it. So it should be used comments. Yeah, I love his workspace.
Love the
use
minions.
comments.
They're great.
In a workspace, you get all the documentation. You can see the scripts he's using to like to do that. And that's it. That's
Very
gonna
cool.
be
That's awesome.
my shout outs.
All right. Good shout outs all around. Shout outs for lots of Postman stuff. And if anybody has any in the audience, please feel free to drop your links in the chat. Otherwise, next week we have the stream for testers, and in 2 weeks we have the D&D potentially .NET.
I think it's 3 weeks. It'd be
3 weeks.
February 9th. Yeah.
.NET D&D. Just saying lots of acronyms here. Stream. So thank you all for joining us. Thank you, Ian. Thank you, Arlemi, and we'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
See everyone.
Goodbye. Goodbye.